and good afternoon. It is Friday and it is time for our regular Lunch and Learn here at Abundant Health and Wellness. And I am your host, Dr. Polly Heil-Mealey. Now, if you're ever in the Humble area, come on down and see us. We're at the avenue of Main Street and Avenue C. We're at the corner of Main Street and Avenue C. A lot of things going through my mind today. Of course, we still are in the stages of opening, and I get calls all throughout the day about this virus, all right? COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. Now, a lot of people are sending me things on Facebook and private messenger and all that kind of thing, which I do appreciate, and you might be wondering why I'm not posting those things on our page. Well, because Facebook has decided that whatever gets posted that does not agree with the World Health Organization gets flagged as spam, gets flagged as false information, gets flagged as misrepresentation of the truth. And so we know that Facebook is biased. We know that they are only going to do what they do. In fact, I read today, I think CNN reported that Facebook was going to be blocking everybody that was against the stay home, stay safe order. So, you know, Facebook has its own bias, as we all do. And so I'm not posting those kind of things because it gets flagged as misrepresentation of the truth, which we do not do that here at Abundant Health and Wellness. We're really, really good about sticking with the truth, staying with the facts. And so that's why you're not seeing that I post some things. There's a doctor, I think he's in Mississippi, but I could not necessarily be true on that. Anyway, he's a chiropractor, and he's got all these videos about the coronavirus, and they're very good, but he swears a lot. And we don't do that on our Facebook page, and so I'm not posting those kind of things. But there is a lot of information out there. If you're looking at information and you want to know my opinion, just send me an email, ask me, and I'll be happy to talk to you. I can't be posting things on Facebook because Facebook is going to start banning people that are posting those kind of things, and I don't want to be banned. I'll tell you another thing Facebook is doing. Facebook is doing what they call shadow banning. And what they're doing is they're looking at our videos, they're looking at our posts to see if we are bringing value to the community. They're looking to see if people are commenting, if people are posting, if people are sharing, if people are liking, all that kind of thing. So if you guys like what I bring to you, please share it, please comment on it, because that's apparently what Facebook is looking for. And if you don't have that, not that we usually have more comments than I'm happy with. Sometimes I get really controversial and people just send me all nasty kind of comments, and so I hate that. But I'm just telling you what Facebook is doing. Now today, I want to talk to you some more about the coronavirus. Now I had a lady call me yesterday, and she said, do you wipe down your mail with Clorox? And it was like, no. She said, do you wipe down your groceries with Clorox? And it was like, no. And so she is hearing all those kind of things. And there's just a lot of stuff out there that says if you bring groceries or whatever into the house and you don't let them air out, you don't let the sunshine hit it, whatever, that you're going to have problems. You know what, guys? If your immune system is strong, then you're going to be just fine. Don't buy into all the hype, and do not be afraid. Now, we did a whole Facebook Live on fear and that kind of thing, and we just don't want you to be afraid, because being afraid really does weaken your immune system. Today, the title of this article that I'm reading is Stop Fighting Your Immune System, okay? How fevers and Finnish saunas help the body battle a virus. And this is really what we want. We want to give you the information that helps your body do what your body knows how to do. Your body knows how to fight off viruses. So, most people that get COVID-19 are going to have zero symptoms, most people. If you are overweight, if you have lung issues, if you have diabetes, if you have heart disease, then you have comorbidities that mean the virus is going to attack you in a more virulent fashion than somebody who does not have those kind of things. So if you do not have comorbidities, you do not need to be afraid of viruses, okay? Just gonna throw that out there. People come into the clinic all the time with masks. I ask them, are you contagious? Are you sick? No, but this is what we've been told to do. Well, I'm just telling you, the doctors put on a mask to stop them breathing their stuff into a sterile environment in the hospital. If you are not sick, you're not going to breathe bad stuff on me, okay? So I'm not worried about it. If you are sick, if you have comorbidities, then it may be beneficial for you to wear a mask. If you do not, then do not, okay? Bacteria gets in that cloth, sweat gets in that cloth, you're touching it, you're itching it. They're not comfortable. I had to wear one the other day when I got my nails done, so they're not comfortable. I understand why in close encounters you might want to do that, but I'm just saying, don't listen to a lot of the hype. The Surgeon General said, if you are healthy, masks are not necessary, okay? He didn't have any vested interest in selling masks, right? Follow the money. See who's saying what and follow the money, all right? Let me get back to my topic, which is fevers. Now, most of the time, people, when they get a fever, it's like the sky is falling, we've got to stop this, we've got to take the Advil, we've got to take acetaminophen, we've got to take Tylenol, we've got to get this fever under control. I'm just going to tell you that the fever is the body's response to go into the body, the bloodstream, and burn up bacteria and viruses. This is why we have a fever. This is an immune response to alleviate some kind of pathogen that's gotten into your system. Now, you might not know this, but you already have viruses in your body. All of us do. Every one of us do. Okay, we do. It's okay, right? The immune system knows what to do with it, and the immune system, if it finds something that it doesn't particularly like, it will start a fever. So I just want to read a little bit, and then I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what I do so that you guys can kind of get on board here. So we have two immune systems. We've got the innate immune system, which is what we're born with, and then we have the acquired immune system, which is what we go out into the environment and we bring into our bodies. So your innate immune system is your spleen, your thymus, your lymphocytes, your killer T cells. These are all things that we're born with, and they're good. On a lesser, maybe standing here, you've got your probiotics. Your probiotics help your gut work the way your gut is supposed to work. And I think it's 85% of your immune system is in your gut. So this is really, really important to be able to understand that. Now, the acquired immune system, that's when I go out and about in the community. When I was a little girl, I've told you this, I'm going to tell you again. My mom came in the kitchen and I was eating the dog food out of the dog dish. Now, why did I do that? I don't know, but I imagine because I loved my puppy so much, I just wanted to do what she was doing, okay? And so my mom said, don't do that, and I guess I didn't do that. But I probably got dog hair when I was eating the dog food, right? Certainly, I got dog spit. So that is a pathogenic substance that went into my body. My immune system said, hey, this isn't supposed to be there. Did I have a reaction? I don't remember. I may have had diarrhea, I may have thrown up, who knows what happened. But my body learned that there was a response for that particular pathogen. And so when we go out and about in the community, I'm going to share my germs, you're going to share your germs. It's going to make my acquired immune system stronger because my body sees this doesn't belong here, and so it activates the immune system. When I am stuck at home all by myself, that actually weakens your immune system. So just bear that in mind when you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to do with these stay-at-home orders, okay? So we've got the innate and the acquired immune system. Now, this article says that the acquired immune system comes into play with after a new infection comes on the scene and surprises it. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a new infection like COVID-19. It's just new to you, okay? So when we're out and about in the community, when I'm touching you, when I bump into you, when I'm breathing the same air that you are breathing, my immune system is stimulated, especially the acquired immune system, which is what we want. We want our immune system to always be on point against any kind of pathogen. And so I kind of have my brain is just going in crazy circles because I have a lot of things I want to tell you, but I've got to give you some foundation before I can do that, all right? So the body has something called, or it reacts to something called pathogen-associated molecular patterns, okay? So they call them PAMPs, P-A-M-P-S, but that's what it stands for. Pathogen-associated molecular patterns. The immune system recognizes these patterns as dangerous and immediately mounts an attack, regardless of whether it is familiar with the pathogen or not. Okay? Generally speaking, the younger and healthier the subject is, the better the immune system is able to fight off this pathogen. The older and more ill the person is, the less able, and that makes sense. Now, we do hear a lot of vibrational medicine, energy medicine, biofrequencies, and your cells, if your cells are healthy, they are going to have a frequency of minus 70 millihertz, okay? That's their voltage, minus 70 millihertz. As you get older, the frequency decreases to minus 50 millihertz. As you get a tumor, it could go down to minus 20 millihertz. So what we want to do is we always want to keep our cells functioning at that bright minus 70 millihertz, because then it's able to fight off any disease and any pathogens. And so that's why in the clinic we do a lot of energy testing to see where you are, what your body is doing, so that it can mount the defense that it needs to mount, okay? So, the body, the early response to a variety of invaders, which determines the severity of the symptoms we may experience early in the course of the infection. Generally speaking, okay, I said that about the younger, the better it is, okay? Now, this person is not necessarily giving medical advice in this article, and I'm not either. I'm just reading the article, talking to you about the article. Okay, so it's talking about COVID-19. One study did find that the flu vaccine makes one more susceptible to the virus. So, caveat here, if you generally take the flu vaccine, you are going to be more susceptible to COVID-19. Okay, why is that? Well, it depends on who you're listening to. Okay, I kind of stay away from well, it doesn't matter. I have heard several doctors, one of them being Dr. Buttar, and he is a virologist. He used to work in the military, and now he's got his own clinic. I think it's in South Carolina, but don't quote me on that. That might not be right. Anyway, he is a virologist. That means he is somebody with a medical background that knows how to work with viruses. And apparently, from what he was saying on his YouTube, go look at his YouTube, it's really, really good. He was saying that this COVID-19 is a chemically altered virus. He says it has the 2015 coronavirus. It's got snips of HIV virus in it. It's got snips of the SARS, and it's got snips of the MERS, okay? It's got those four different, and it's got H1N1, which is what? The flu, all right? And so he's saying that COVID-19 has been manipulated in the lab to have these different splices. I'm not a virologist. I'm not going to be able to look at anything and say yay or nay. This is what he said. He does not have an agenda necessarily except to get people well. If you listen to him, I think you'll be really, really pleased with the soundness of what he is saying. So we want to make sure that if we do get the flu shot, that we know that we're going to be more susceptible to this virus, okay? Now, it says here, one of the primary defenses against the virus is type 1 interferon, which is a cytokine or an immune protein. Now, you may have heard about the cytokine storm, okay? So when people get overwhelmed with a virus, their immune system can overreact, produce too many cytokines, which causes its own inflammatory process, which is known as a cytokine storm. Okay, but this type 1 interferon is something that the body will make in response to a virus, okay? It is responsible for activating our non-specific innate immunity when the genetic material of a PAMP, and what did we say that was? Protein-associated molecular patterns, okay, such as COVID-19 are identified. When infected cells secrete interferon, innate immunity, the protein signals the healthy cells around the infected cells to prepare to take on the invader. Now, I just want to kind of segue, okay, because there's some things that I'm learning about listening to all these people in this virus. Now, I did not learn this in holistic school, so I'm doing some research. I'm talking to people, trying to get their perspective on this, but I'm hearing more than one person say that a virus is something that your body makes within yourself. It's a solvent, and it removes environmental toxicity. Now, I didn't hear that in holistic school. I'm just hearing that in the past 3 months when I've been researching this COVID-19. I don't really know how I feel about that, but I will tell you this. Here is a picture. I'm going to put it real close. This is live, well, it's actually dried blood. Okay, we do blood cell analysis here. Here is actually live blood, okay? You can see those little spots on the white blood cells. They're not supposed to be there, okay? They're just not supposed to be there. So there is a scientist, and his name was Dr. Gunter Ederlin, okay? He is considered the father of polymorphism. Now, polymorphism is a shapeshifter, okay, that's in the blood, okay? So this is kind of interesting because you think that your blood is just blood. It's hemoglobin, it's got white blood cells, it's got red blood cells, it's got plasma, and you think that's all that's in there. But actually, there are little critters in there. We're all born with it. He says, he refers to all the possible developmental forms of the protets, okay, as endobionts. He discovered 2 microbes that have always existed in vertebrate mammals when we are a vertebrate mammal. These, I don't want to go into the whole textbook here, okay, but what we learned in this study is that when you are exposed to environmental toxins, when you are exposed to food that is not good, or when you don't get the right nutrients, then you're going to have those little critters in the blood. They're going to morph, they're going to change according to what's in your blood, and they're going to set you up for sickness and disease. So just kind of want to tell you that, because if this new information that a virus is you being over toxic, okay, and the body makes a virus as a solvent to get the toxicity out of your body, how does that happen? Vomiting and diarrhea, right? What happens to you when you go through a real heavy detox? Can be vomiting, can be diarrhea. You get vomiting when you have food poisoning. You get diarrhea when you have food poisoning. Why is that? Because that's the body saying, get me out of here, okay? So if your biological terrain is clean and healthy, then you're going to make those interferons and you're going to do what you need to do in order to get well. If you don't have a clean terrain, and a lot of people don't have a clean terrain that come in and see me. And so anytime a pathogen comes into their field, into their environment, their body's not going to mount the right immune response, and so they're going to be overcome with it and they're going to get sick, okay? And that's what we don't really want. Okie dokie. So there was a review performed in March 2020, so that was just last month, okay? Now, Hooked on Phonics works for me, okay? Chulalongkorn University in Thailand, okay, Researchers found that this group of viruses actually interfered with the activation of our innate immune system by suppressing interferon secretion early in the course of the disease. So this is the COVID-19 that has, and he says too, it's got the SARS and the MERS in there. So they're looking at this in Thailand, and they're saying that this particular virus suppresses the innate immune response. This means no immediate immune response and all of those symptoms created by our immune response. This explains the high rate of people who do not show any symptoms. They are asymptomatic carriers, okay? And I've always just laughed at that because you know what? If I'm asymptomatic, I think I'm pretty healthy, right? Because I don't have any symptoms. And so there is this narrative that you're gonna die, you just have asymptomatic, you're just asymptomatic. And that is just so far from the truth, because if you don't have any symptoms, then you're not gonna die, okay? So kind of read between the lines here, all right? So it says here, this explains the high rate of asymptomatic carriers, those that don't show symptoms, okay? It also explains the overall mild nature of the disease in children and young adults. Now, I don't want us to have an immune system that is suppressed and does not mount an immune response. I don't want that. When you're here in the clinic, we can measure your immune response, okay? We can measure how well your lymph is functioning. We can measure how well your thymus is functioning. We can measure how well your spleen is functioning. And what do we want? We want minus 70 millivolts. That's what we want. We also, if you listened and looked at our Tuesday testimonial, we have a new report here that we do with your hair DNA. You've got to have the follicle on that hair, but we pull the hair, we scan it to a lab in Germany, and it basically, this new report tells you what your immune response is. Is your immune response good? Are you a little bit sluggish? Or do you really need a lot of help? And so I don't want you to be walking around thinking, oh, I'm all good and everything's great, and have a problem with that. So this is something that it would be good for you to come and get tested. But at the same time, I don't want you walking around in fear thinking you have to Clorox everything when your immune system could be working brilliantly. And so there's peace of mind in knowing what's going on with your body, and we want everybody's immune system to be functioning the way it is supposed to function, okay? So this is important. So it says one of the key features of our innate immune response is increased body temperature or fever. Fever burns off the pathogens. Fevers of 39.5 degrees Celsius or 103.1 Fahrenheit were linked to better survival and quicker recovery. Researchers found that a fever could activate monocytes. Now, when you get your blood work, you're going to have lymphocytes, monocytes, basophils, eosinophils, and there's another one. Anyway, those are the differentiations of your white blood cells, okay? And they go into everything and clean up all those pathogens. We want to see that. A fever will activate monocytes, all right? So we want to have activated monocytes. So if I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something, what do? I will hop in a hot bath, okay? Normally I'll put ginger in the bath, all right? Now, we used to be able to get a 1 pound bag of ginger, organic, okay? And I would put probably 2 or 3 tablespoons in the bath. So why would I do that? Well, because ginger is hot, we know that it is. It gets my lymphatic system moving. If the lymphatic system is a little bit sluggish, then any kind of pathogens that get into the body are not going to be taken out of the body. So the ginger will get the lymphatic fluid moving faster. I will get hot. I will be in the bath for probably 20 minutes. Now, I get it as hot as I can stand it, so be careful. And I put that ginger in there, and I soak in that bath for 20 minutes. By the end of the 20 minutes, my skin is bright red, and I am sweating. Now, what have I done? I have stimulated a fever in my body, right, to get rid of all the pathogens. Now, I'll just tell you, I take that hot of a bath every night. So I simulate a fever every day to ward off pathogens. Why? Because I know that a fever will do that. Now, do I feel ill often? No. It's very, very rare that I don't feel well. And I think part of that reason is because I keep my immune system doing what my immune system is supposed to do. I mean, I have sick people come in here all the time, and I'm very, very rarely sick. In fact, I don't think I've been sick at all since we've been at this location, which is over 6 years. And I think it's probably been, I know it's been at least 15 years since I've been to the doctor. So, you know, I think it's working pretty well for me. Now, there are some other therapies that you can do as well. You can do a hot sauna. You can do a dry sauna. You can do a wet sauna. What does that do? That causes you to sweat. It raises your body temperature. You're going to burn off the pathogens. They found also that those kind of weird people, and I'm not one of these, but they're out there, and I just thought, I can't do that. They go into a hot sauna, a Finnish sauna, and then they'll soak in there, bake in there for however long it is, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever they're doing. Then they will get out and they will plunge themselves into ice cold water, or they'll take an ice cold shower. Now, I couldn't do that. I don't like the cold, and I would not like to have that shock to my system. But it is actually that shock to the system that gets the immune system doing what the immune system needs to do. And so that's really kind of a good thing. And they were saying in their statistics, right? Okay, so Finland does that. Russians, Japanese, and Koreans all do that, okay? And so they end this is a medical doctor, okay? He ends this, so the next time you think you may be coming down with something, don't fight against your own immune system. The fever may actually be helping you. From a preventative lifestyle perspective, you can replicate this elegant immune response. This seems to be something that the Finns, the Russians, the Japanese, and the Koreans have known for centuries. This might even partly explain why many of us both crave a hot bath when we are under the weather. So it's just interesting, okay? It says the scientific data on the immune response from increased core body temperature clearly shows improvement in the particular immune cells which the COVID-19 virus is known to suppress early in the disease course, okay? So you want to be able to do this. You want to be able to work with your body. Don't have a heart attack because you have a fever. That is your body doing what it needs to do to get rid of the pathogen. If you want to be proactive, especially in this environment where everything is fear and gloom and stay home, stay safe, really that's not so safe unless you have comorbid conditions. Now, you can get in a hot bath like I do. If you have a hot tub, you can turn it up really high and do that. That's an option. You can do far infrared saunas. Those temperatures get really, really high. And you can do Finnish saunas, or you can do wet saunas, okay? I don't care how you do it. These are some things that you can do to get your immune system to do what your immune system can do. And remember, only your immune system can heal you from any sickness and any disease. So I want to empower you. You have the tools. I just was told this morning, because I was going to bring my bag of ginger out here and show you what it looks like, but the supplier no longer carries it. So that's very, very sad. But you can use ginger from the spice rack, okay? Make sure it's organic. It doesn't have any heavy metals in it. And ladies, you want to start with a low dose and make sure you can tolerate it, okay? Ginger is hot. You've got sensitive little lady bits in that water that we don't want to burn, okay? The more you do it, the higher the tolerance that you can take. Start easy, start with a tablespoon, see how you do. And then, like I say, I do about 3 or 4 tablespoons, maybe even a quarter of a cup sometimes. So it gets your blood going, it gets your lymphatic system going, and it really, really is good if you're feeling poorly, if you're feeling like you just need to get your immune system working a little bit stronger. It's just really a good thing to do. I know that some of the spas have the far infrared treatment, take advantage of that. That's very good for you. Stay there. You need to stay there 20, 30 minutes, and you need to do it often in order to burn up those pathogens. Do not be afraid, okay? If you do not have the comorbidities, you have nothing to worry about. Be smart, be safe. I would not necessarily go on a plane or a cruise ship right now because of all of the different germs, and they're recycling the air. So it's going to be a high target area, so I'm not really willing to put myself in that right now. But I am not afraid to go out in the community. I'm not afraid to hug your neck and shake your hand and all those kind of things. Because why? Because I know my immune system is strong. I did that DNA test to find out where my immune system is, and my immune system is A-okay. So it's all good. Come by and see us. We'll do that test on you. It takes just a very few minutes. The report will be emailed to you within a couple of days. You've got all the information that you need. You don't need to take the time out to come and see me, but you're still going to know what's going to help your immune system. Of course, we're here if you need that help. We're here to help you and to get you on the right track, and we're here to make it easy for you as well. So take care of yourself and rest, okay? Get that immune system strong. Take a nice hot bath, relax, replenish, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.